Hi, I haven't done one of these vlog things in a while. Sorry, I was a bit preoccupied with messing with Ben. You have to admit, that Polyjuice potion thing was a brilliant prank. And then I got so caught up in reading one of Bathilda Bagshot's early works, and bam, 2 weeks went by. But what's 2 weeks compared to the dust of the centuries? It's pretty fascinating stuff, really, this book of hers. It's called The Decline of Pagan Magic. You've probably heard of it. I mean, Professor Binns must have mentioned it at least half a dozen times. For some reason, though, I never quite got the impression that any of you paid any attention during his lessons. Now, where was I? Oh yes, this book of hers is nothing short of revolutionary. I mean, the fact that she uses word decline in title in sort of ironic way, because, well, she was always a pretty outspoken representative of the transformation paradigm. Well, anyway, according to her, one shouldn't really be speaking about decline of pagan magic, but rather its transformation and gradual incorporation into high medieval enchantments. Absolutely brilliant. But as much as I loved this book, its effects were not really uplifting. It got me thinking about all the fascinating stuff I could be researching if I only had the access to Hogwarts library. I mean, it is, without a doubt, the best in the country. One thing led to another, and here I am thinking about how I'm not getting any younger. I mean, sooner or later, I really should focus on only one field of research. But there's so much historical and archaeological stuff that's extremely fascinating, so how does one make a decision like that? I mean, sure, at some point in my life I was really into famous animagi in ancient Egypt, but then I grew up. Well, I suppose magical coinage could be a fruitful thing to study. I mean, I always thought Roman coins to be pretty fascinating, and my collection is already quite large. Caesar, Claudius. Well, that one's actually from Yorwick, so it shouldn't really be here. Oh look, Emperor Hadrian. Did you know he was most likely a wizard? I mean, according to Bathilda Bagshot, all the contemporary literary sources point to the fact, even though, it is quite plausible that he was never really trained in the use of magic. Well, and then there's Diocletian and his money reform, which consequently caused the Wizarding Society to form its first very own currencies. I think I could do that. I mean, coins are pretty cool, aren't they? What else is there? Development and typology of cauldrons. Boring. Vampire genocide in 18th century Romania. Well, that was unfortunate, but nah, too well researched for my taste. Well, this might be interesting. How familiar are you with early Slavic settlement in Eastern Alpine region? Well, this might be oversimplifying things, but imagine a bunch of hippies living in sunken featured houses, yeah? Well, the pods they made. I actually might have a piece or two somewhere around here. Well, they were often decorated with pretty little waves like that, and while still at Hogwarts, I came up with a theory that these waves might in fact reflect the wand movement required for their, probably pretty archaic spellwork. What exactly did these spells do? Who knows? I'm guessing it might have something to do with growing crops. Also, some researchers believe that these early Slavic settlements were built on some sort of enchanted line and were a part of great magic ritual. I don't know. It might be actually fun to research. Oh, and did I tell you what happened at work last week? Well, we got a tip that a quite renowned Muggle archaeologist came upon something that might have been a magical artifact during his excavations of a deserted Anglo-Saxon well. Anyway, they sent me to check it out, and it was actually quite easy to convince the man to show me the find. A confundus charm usually does the trick. It was an inscribed piece of wood and outstandingly well preserved due to anaerobic environment of the well, of course, and a few spells later it became clear that it was, in fact, made by a wizard. Naturally, I had to wipe the man's memory. Poor fellow, as if working as an early medieval archaeologist isn't bad enough. I assume that carving correct runes on a piece of wood should most likely extend the longevity of certain spells performed on it. I would love to study the runes more closely, but as my supervisor reminded me numerous times, that's not my job. Anyway, I really should find something that would prove as an interesting research topic and give me a bit more freedom. What do you guys think? I'm really stuck here. Until then, I bid you farewell.